Hello, this is your Mayor Juan Carlos Bermudez, and I want to welcome you to the 2020 State of the City Address. As we all know, this has been a very different and trying year, and normally we would be together in person at our State of the City Address. Due to COVID-19, this year's State of the City is being done virtually. There are many people to thank for helping the city move forward this year. I begin with you, the residents and business owners of our city, who have been so cooperative in carrying through these very trying times. I thank you for following the regulations and the emergency orders, and through your cooperation, Doral has kept our COVID-19 numbers at a very low percentage in comparison to most cities. Our rate of infection is 1.1% of the total county infection numbers. I want to thank our administration and in particular the three charter officers, City Manager Albert Childress, City Attorney Luis Figueredo, and City Clerk Connie Diaz, who through these trying times, along with many others, have kept the city open and running through this pandemic. A big thank you to all the directors and city employees who have kept providing service to our residents and businesses while making sure their loved ones and their families also stay safe. I want to thank our council members for continuing to perform their public service despite this pandemic. Of course, I must recognize and thank my family, my wife Vivian and our daughters Eneida, Elena, and Elisa, who have supported me at this time, which has required that my job as mayor be out there working for our community full-time and attending late night and early morning Zoom meetings with state, county, federal leaders, and our staff. Finally, and most importantly, we all need to thank God, as these are challenging times that may have tested our faith, and I am sure we'll come out of this stronger. In these difficult times, we have continued our commitment to efficient, effective, and transparent government. We have continued to provide better and more efficient services. We have made sure that fiscal responsibility continues with a budget this fiscal year that strategically puts taxpayer dollars to work without cutting services, yet still remaining structurally balanced for a fourth consecutive year. We have kept the second lowest millage rate in Miami-Dade County at 1.9 mils. Only about 12% of your tax bill goes to the city. The majority of the rest goes to the county and the public school board. We were once again awarded the Gfoa Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for the fiscal year 2018-2019. The highest honor that can be given to any municipal entity for fiscal responsibility in budgeting. The S&P Global Ratings and Fitch Ratings assigned a AA+ rating on the City of Doral's long-term issuer credit rating and to the city's 2019 general obligation bonds. Our procurement department has implemented electronic bid submission, which helps to reduce the bidding time and operational cost. As a response to COVID-19, procurement has fully automated the bidding process while maintaining the integrity of transparency and fairness. We worked with the Doug Williams Group, management partners, and Crow Consultants on efforts to improve department processes, identify process gaps in reporting, and review key standard operating and auditing procedures. The most recent phase of this program of customer call surveys yielded a 97% satisfaction rate. We entered into an agreement with Crow LLP, certified public accountants, to perform internal audit functions of each of the city departments. The audits evaluate the existing and adequacy of selected internal controls, identify opportunities for operating efficiencies, verify compliance with selected established policies and procedures, and recommend improvements where needed. In fiscal year 2019-2020, we are scheduled to complete 5 departments: building, planning and zoning, code compliance, parks and recreation, and public works. Our city was recognized as a Healthy Weight Community Champion for the fiscal year 2019-2020. We received the Healthiest Employer Honoree Award and were featured in the South Florida Business Journal. We received 2020 Making a Difference Award Gold status, which is an upgrade from last year when we were silver. The Human Resources Department has initiated and managed the 2020 Wellness Challenge to inspire all our city employees to get fit and live a healthy lifestyle. The city coordinated on-site flu shots for all City of Doral employees, as well as COVID-19 testing to ensure a safe workforce for staff and residents. We continue to implement and augment projects for better governance. We have increased reporting on the performance dashboard by incorporating 12 new key performance indicators. Department directors continue to ensure that there is a real sense of accountability for delivery of results by all employees in all departments. Accountability is best secured when it is coupled with increasing effectiveness and efficiency of each department to provide an enhanced level of customer service to our constituent businesses and visitors. We have continued investment in smart city initiatives. The City of Doral Smart City 2.0 Modern Urban Environments has focused on a holistic vision to bring solutions to every aspect of urban life, with emphasis on new technologies and ways of enhancing the lives of our residents and businesses. Our focus is three key elements: quality of life, economic competitiveness, and sustainability. The license plate reader camera phase 1 has been completed. This phase added 6 intersections and 45 cameras to the existing LPR grid. The technology investment in public safety has laid the groundwork for improved emergency preparedness, has provided law enforcement with greater situational awareness with smart alerts, face recognition, artificial intelligence, computer vision, and technology that enables digitally connected solutions to come together and optimize resources and ultimately protect lives. The City of Doral continues to drive cybersecurity priorities and investments, including a security operations center that monitors our security infrastructure 24/7. Through the internationally recognized WCCD ISO 37120 certification, the City of Doral continues to be part of a global network of cities adopting a culture of data to drive a culture of innovation, and remains an active and key contributor to the WCCD Global Network, moving the Sustainable Development Agenda forward so effectively. We have obtained the Platinum certification for 3 years running. We are launching a new 311 system this month, October 2020, to increase user-friendly functions and work hand-in-hand with the GIS portal. This new system will be part of an accessible mobile app where residents can submit inquiries and request, and it provides follow-up tracking and documentation for full reporting. The Development Services software project will launch in January of 2021. This online GIS-based system will put more power in the hands of the user to apply for, pay for, and schedule inspections online. The goal is a streamlined process for an optional customer experience for our residents and businesses. The building department implemented a more efficient and effective survey program on the second floor solution center that reflects more accurately the level of service provided and allows for better understanding of the customer's experience with the permitting process and any issues that may need attention and improvement. A new electronic documents and plan submittal processing program has been established by the building department to cope with all the changes caused by the COVID-19 conditions and the new requirements from Miami-Dade County. All documents and plans are submitted and processed electronically, allowing for a more efficient and safe process. We all know that in these trying times, our community's safety is critical. I want to thank Chief Hernan Organ-Vitas and the men and women of the Doral Police Department that have been on the front lines during this pandemic, keeping our community and residents safe. Our focus on public safety has continued. We have had a significant decrease in overall crime in Doral, approximately 17.69% for the fiscal year 2020. This reduction in the overall crime rate can be attributed to the strong relationships and open lines of communication we have with our residents and business owners, as well as the proactive enforcement details that are conducted on a daily basis by both uniformed and plainclothes officers. The safety and security of our children is a top priority for the Doral Police Department. We are very proud of the relationships we have established with teachers, administrators, and students in the schools in our city of Doral. This year, we staffed 4 public schools, 8 charter schools, and 1 private school. The police department integrated the mobile computer-assisted dispatch platform that the Miami-Dade Police Department utilizes in the answering of calls from the public and the subsequent dispatch of those calls to Doral police units. This will result in a more efficient, accurate outcome in the way calls for service affecting Doral residents and businesses are managed. In order to meet the increased public safety demands of our growing city, the department added 13 police officers, 1 police reserve officer, and 8 public service aides to the ranks this year. The training of police officers has been and will continue to play an integral role in the effectiveness of a well-rounded law enforcement agency. We remain committed to ensuring that our sworn and non-sworn personnel receive continuous training to maintain the state-mandated standards. Our training section conducted various training courses throughout the year, including 2 8-week academies for public service aides, where PSAs from various South Florida police departments successfully completed the course. Our training section also conducted 1 Citizens Police Academy, where 22 residents had the opportunity to see firsthand some of the challenges and situations our officers deal with on a daily basis. The entire police department received training in the use of personal protective equipment necessary to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. The department acquired personal protective gear for our police officers. The city of Doral enjoys an enviable geographic position in the center of metropolitan Miami-Dade County and has within its boundaries several points of critical infrastructure that are often at the crosshairs of individuals and groups looking to bring attention to their particular cause or agenda. Nationally recognized experts in public safety had predicted that civil unrest and ill-prepared police forces would be one of the major challenges that law enforcement agencies would face. Those projections became a reality this past spring when cities throughout the country, including Doral, had to deal with protests and demonstrations of various scales and size. The acquisition of protective gear for our police officers was an investment not only in their safety, but in our communities as well. The challenges brought on by this rapidly evolving illness were unique and on a scale never seen before, affecting every segment and industry of our community. Public safety and law enforcement agencies were no exception. The Doral Police Department undertook the mission of educating and informing the community about the illness and ensuring that businesses adhered to the emergency orders that were in place. The department purchased and deployed personal protective equipment that included protective masks and respirators, surgical gloves, and hand sanitizers that was deployed to all personnel. Working under the leadership of Doral elected officials, the police personnel delivered groceries and food to over 1,000 families residing in Doral that were in need. Our objectives for the police department for the fiscal year 2020-2021 are very clear. We will continue to focus efforts on reducing the crime rate. The police department is committed to this successful and proven community-based policing model as the means to continue addressing issues of public safety and quality of life with the overall goal of preventing and reducing crime. We will continue building relationships and further develop existing ones with residents, business owners, and the administration of the various schools and other educational facilities in Doral. We will continue staffing 4 public schools, 8 charter schools, and 1 private school with our city police personnel. Our training section will be conducting multiple training courses in a variety of areas, including mobile field force, crisis intervention, and active shooter situations. The entire department will undergo a 6-hour course to familiarize themselves with a new electronic control device, the T7 Taser, which will be issued to all officers in the coming months. The department will also be acquiring a training simulator that will be used to present various scenarios where officers will be exposed to real-life situations calling for the use of non-lethal and lethal force and de-escalation techniques. The department is in the process of hiring an outside consultant that will train our officers in the areas of diversity and multiculturalism. This will enable our officers to better communicate and interact with our growing and varied community. The police department is in the process of converting the existing communications unit to a real-time information center. This will increase the efficiency of the personnel presently assigned and permit them to handle other tasks, resulting in a more productive application of our resources. As the city of Doral continues to grow, so do the public safety needs of our vibrant and thriving community. We are committed to continue hiring qualified, certified personnel to fill the ranks of police officers as vacancies arise. Public service aides will also be hired as necessary, since they play an integral role in the manner in which we deliver services, particularly responding to non-emergency calls and the investigation of traffic crashes. The police department is committed to ensuring that the city's parks maintain the excellent reputation they have developed. We will be creating the position of park ranger in conjunction with the parks department. These non-sworn positions will be under the supervision of the patrol section and will be tasked with handling non-emergency situations within the parks, enforcing city ordinances, and assisting the public. Our code compliance department has also served an amplified role during this COVID-19 crisis. The Code Compliance Department extended hours of operation for field personnel to 11 p.m. in order to provide additional presence and enforcement throughout the later evening hours. The department exceeded its 24-hour response time goal to service requests by responding to all calls for service in an average time of under 4 hours. The department also incorporated online features for payment of fines and administrative costs related to enforcement activities. Our code compliance officers conducted outreach inspections after the release of every new state and county emergency order, including mandated curfews, to educate the affected businesses. Our code officers worked with the business community to allow greater flexibility in posting signage during declared state of emergency orders. The code officers also assisted parks and recreation officers and employees in enforcing social distancing rules across every city park. We have also continued our efforts as a team to foster a sense of community and have continued outreach to our community in these times of need. We had over 5 food distribution events in partnership with community groups Farm Share and Feeding South Florida. We participated in the Feeding Frontlines Miami partnership with DiBieto's restaurant to deliver 500 meals to local first responders. We partnered with Florida Blue, distributing 600 gift cards for groceries to Doral residents. We continued to award commercial properties with the Keep Doral Beautiful Business Award for their continued efforts in maintaining and improving the city's aesthetic appeal. We completed the 3rd and final year of the Million Orchid Project in partnership with Fairchild Tropical Botanical Gardens, planting hundreds of new orchids in Doral Glades Park. The city was recognized again as a Tree City USA by the Arbor Day Foundation for the 12th consecutive year. We developed and provided an educational awareness program with state grant funding, a program on information and education for storm preparedness, which provides awareness of proper tree care to reduce damage to trees from hurricanes and tropical storms. We have continued the Adopt a Street opportunities for community organizations to help keep Doral clean and beautiful. We have continued our annual Mayor's Citizens Government Academy, with this year it being done completely virtually due to COVID-19. Our annual Hurricane Safety Fair was done virtually due to the pandemic. It helps our community prepare for storm season with important tools and resources. As part of the Mayor on the Move initiative, we visited homeowner associations in the city to answer questions directly, bringing our government to you. Our constituent services provided accurate and unified city information to residents through 311, social media, emails, and walk-ins. The new customer service-oriented role has been instrumental in assisting residents during this COVID-19 pandemic. We instituted a number of educational and awareness campaigns, including Did You Know?, which informs residents and businesses on city and department facts. A Solution Center video, which highlights aspects of the Solution Center for patrons to watch during their wait. COVID-19 video messages to communicate important updates and news of the city. A Put It Down driving program, which is a safety campaign in partnership with FDOT. And finally, the Census 2020 campaign. We continue reaching more people than ever through social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Followers have increased by 18% since last year across the 3 platforms. We currently have over 57,000 individuals following our city. We have continued to strengthen our infrastructure by focusing on roadway and transit improvements for our community. The city implemented a 2-year agreement with Freebie for service for downtown Doral, downtown Doral South, and City Place. We completed the Doral Trolley Smart Plan Implementation Study. The city obtained a $56,000 grant funding from the Miami-Dade Transportation Planning Organization, known as the TPO, to partially fund the $70,000 Doral Boulevard Corridor Study. The city obtained a $1 million grant through the Transportation Alternatives Program, known as TAP, for the 2019 cycle for the citywide sidewalk improvements, Phase 2. We obtained a $350,000 grant for the construction of the intersection improvements, which includes new traffic signals located at Northwest 114th Avenue and Northwest 82nd Street in front of Legacy Park. The city commenced the design and permitting of traffic calming improvements in Section 7 of our city. The city also completed the exterior lighting LED upgrade at the Government Center, including the parking garage, for lighting the facility in support of community and philanthropic causes. We obtained recertification at a platinum level for the City of Doral as a green local government by the Florida Green Building Coalition. We implemented city facility COVID-19 response measures, increasing janitorial services and daily upkeep of city facilities, procured personnel protection equipment and janitorial supplies for the increased janitorial services, installed higher glass partitions in all cubicles at the Government Center to prevent the spread of the virus, installed preventive signage and partitions at the Government Center and at our city police department. We have continued construction improvement projects across our city. Our Public Works Department completed the milling and resurfacing along Northwest 114th Avenue, along Northwest 117th Avenue, and sidewalk repairs along the east side of Northwest 114th Avenue. The department also completed the sidewalk repairs along Northwest 84th Avenue and along Northwest 53rd Street. The department completed the milling and resurfacing along Northwest 115th Avenue, Northwest 30th Street, along Northwest 29th Street, and also along Northwest 108th Avenue, and additionally along Northwest 110th Avenue. Public Works completed the restriping of pavement markings along Northwest 97th Avenue and along Northwest 102nd Avenue. The department also commenced the roadway widening project along Northwest 41st Street from 79th Avenue to Northwest 87th Avenue. At the same time, the department has also commenced the roadway widening project along Northwest 112th Avenue between Northwest 25th Street and Northwest 34th Street. Our Public Works Department has also completed the construction of the new roadway connection along Northwest 102nd Avenue from Northwest 66th Street to Northwest 74th Street. They have also completed the widening project along Northwest 82nd Avenue from Northwest 27th Street to Northwest 33rd Street. The department completed the construction of the Northwest 74th Street traffic signals improvements at Northwest 97th Avenue and at Northwest 102nd Avenue. They completed the construction of the City Sidewalk Improvements Phase 1 project, which includes segments along Northwest 115th Avenue, Northwest 39th Street, Northwest 33rd Street, Northwest 19th Street, Northwest 33rd Street, and Northwest 30th Terrace. This project benefited from a $1 million Florida Department of Transportation grant. The department has completed a number of stormwater projects to prepare our city to continue to control flooding. The city completed the construction of the canal bank stabilization along the Dressel's Canal parallel to Northwest 41st Street. This project was partially funded by a $1 million FDOT LAP grant. The department completed the stormwater improvements along Northwest 114th Avenue and Northwest 50th Street. The project had a $200,000 state grant, which was applied to both of those construction projects. We completed the stormwater improvements along Northwest 84th Avenue between Northwest 12th Street and Northwest 25th Street. We commenced the stormwater improvements at Northwest 21st Street between Northwest 84th Avenue to Northwest 82nd Avenue. Additionally, the city completed the construction of the canal bank stabilization along Northwest 25th Street between Northwest 97th Avenue and Northwest 87th Avenue. This project also received a $950,000 state grant. We commenced the Stormwater Master Plan update, which will provide the next 5-year stormwater capital improvement plan. This update is scheduled to be completed during the first quarter of fiscal year 2020-2021. Additionally, the city purchased a water pump that is deployed during emergency rain events. As we committed 4 years ago when we returned, our growth has to be smart, controlled, and planned. In order to guarantee that, we have updated the city's comprehensive plan transportation element, comprehensive plan parks and recreation element, and low impact development master plan. The purpose is to ensure that future growth is sustainable, support changing demographics, housing options, multimodal transportation, growth in jobs and visitors, and long-term resilience. The city completed the Adaptive Reuse Area Overlay District Master Plan, which will bring renewed vibrance to the northeast portion of our city, near the downtown. We updated the Bicycle Master Plan with parks and recreation and continue to expand the bike path. The Planning and Zoning and Building Departments and Floodplain Administrator continue to participate in a joint effort with FEMA and State Floodplain Managers Association to host meetings and educational conferences to expand the knowledge base of the floodplain managers in the region. We have continued to participate in an in-house floodplain management technical group to address citywide flooding issues and have improvement to the community rating system ranking to maintain and or improve the city's CRS ranking, and discounts received by over 4,500 flood insurance policyholders in the city. We continue expanding the art and public place programs with the creation of a dedicated fund for all contributions. In the next 2 months, we will have world-class art experiences in our city, with the Miami City Ballet producing the Nutcracker in the downtown Doral Park, and Manolo Valdez, one of the world's most renowned sculptors, bringing a 6-month exhibit to our city in partnership with the Doral Contemporary Art Museum. In a time of great economic crisis, we have expanded our efforts to help businesses survive in these trying times. We have instituted a number of COVID-19 specific programs to help our business community. They were passed and funded, and amongst them are the following: the implementation of a temporary outdoor dining permit and temporary business tax receipt program to aid in the economic recovery of businesses within the city of Doral, the extension of the deadline for the renewal of business tax receipts through the end of 2020 to provide relief to businesses, the creation of the Doral Cares Assistant Grant Program for small businesses and residents, partnerships with SBDC, FIU, the Beacon Council, SBA, Prospera, and Google to provide assistance to businesses affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. A brand new partnership with a traditional and wonderful Chamber of Commerce with a great history in Camacol, Doral, to bring services and programming to Doral residents for pandemic recovery. We also instituted a program to evaluate short-term and long-term growth of our tax base. The city boosted the Shop Local, Save Local program to over 100 participants. Simplified sign-up process is making it easier for businesses to join the program. The program incentivizes shoppers to spend locally for a strong economy. The Economic Development Division was recognized by the United States Conference of Mayors as one of the 20 cities cited for its economic mobility program in its 2020 Mayor's Economic Mobility Report. We also partnered with the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau and local hotel partners on a $255,500 campaign to market the city as a tourism and conference destination. We also awarded $31,456 in facade improvement grants, over $22,000 in CBO grants, and over $100,000 in PTSA grants and school supplies donations. The Economic Development Division partnered with the Beacon Council to launch a regional rapid response business relocation program. Our city continues with the Live, Work, Play, and Learn and Invest, and Doral is ready to safely welcome you back promotional programs on Channel 39, the Weather Channel, Invest Miami, and Comcast. Of course, our parks continue to be a key component of the quality of life for our families, adults, and senior members of our community. We began the implementation of the Doral Parks General Obligation Bond that was passed in the November 2018 election by you, our residents. This $150 million bond will allow for improvements to existing parks and new parks to be developed. Some of the improvements under that bond that have either started or are about to start are construction on Doral Meadow Park, improvements at Morgan Levy Park, improvements and construction of the Doral Cultural Center will begin in October 2020. Bond projects that are currently underway include the designing of the Doral White Horse Park, Trails and Tales Park, and Doral Central Park. Construction of Doral Central Park is set to begin in the second quarter of 2021. A number of cultural opportunities for residents took place in our parks this year. We had a 3-day Shakespeare production of Macbeth in downtown Doral Park. This was made possible through a cultural arts grant from the National Endowment for the Arts. There were new art and music programs added to our Silver Club and special needs participants to continue to expand the different offerings that those two groups enjoy. We expanded our recreation programming this year. The city launched a city-run volunteer coach-based fall recreation baseball league. This league allows those players an option to still learn and play baseball that didn't want a travel competitive baseball format. The department launched 2 new city-run community center programs for kids. The Genius program teaches safe science experiments to children and gets them excited about science and math. Nature Crafts is our newest nature program, which focuses on arts and crafts with a natural twist to introduce nature and environmental education to kids. We also began offering nature-focused teacher planning day camps at Doral Glades Park. Additional new contracted programs were brought on board for the community, such as karate, YMCA child aftercare, and an additional yoga program. The department began working with the awarded firm on the sponsorship valuation and naming rights for parks and recreation facilities. This project will allow the city to identify potential sponsorship opportunities for events, programs, sports, as well as naming rights opportunities at both existing parks and future parks. Sponsorship revenues help the department remain fiscally responsible and allow events to remain at a low to no cost benefit to the community. Of course, with COVID-19, we made changes to continue as many programs as we could during this period of the new normal. The Parks Department is making the shift from primarily an in-person programming to virtual programming as a way to keep our community and participants engaged and active in the programs they are accustomed to attending, as well as trying new classes, all from the safety and convenience of their homes. The department has already implemented many virtual programs and events and is working to implement new offerings for all ages and abilities in the coming months. Some of the events that were done virtually were Art After Dark workshops, 4th of July fireworks display, the Doral Opera program, and the special needs programs. Our park staff worked to educate the public on mask and social distancing rules to keep park patrons safe during the pandemic, including creating COVID park ambassadors to assist you, our residents, at the parks. The new park we opened last year, Doral Glades Park, was recognized as an honorable mention for the 2019 Green Globes Project of the Year. As you can see, there are many things that have been accomplished in the last year, and we are pushing on many new exciting projects this year. When we returned almost 4 years ago to get Doral back on track, we made a commitment to return our city to the founding tenets of our community. Now, we must continue to fight for improvements and protect those accomplishments so that we never, as a city, deviate from our commitment to make Doral their premier place to live, work, learn, and play. We will continue to fight for the improvement of our quality of life by fighting to convince the county to not renew the contract for the operation of the Resource Recovery Facility, which terminates in 2023. We continue to monitor and enforce a settlement with Waste Management and Miami-Dade County on the facility of regional impact, which is in the city of Medley. I am committed to making sure that performance metrics and performance-based budgeting and evaluations be codified permanently in our code to assure effective and efficient government in the future of our city. As we enter our partnership with the Doral Contemporary Art Museum, we continue to help bring world-class cultural events to the western portion of Miami-Dade and our wonderful and beautiful city. I know this has been a very difficult year for all of us. Together, we have been able to fight through this difficult time, and will continue to fight through as we hopefully progress to getting a vaccine to help us deal with COVID-19. As we move forward as a community, I remind you of the inspiring words of the great Martin Luther King Jr. about dealing with tough times. He said, "The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands in the time of challenge and controversy." We have stood together in these tough times. We have worked together to keep our community safe and continue with helping our brothers and sisters in the community out. It has been my honor to be the mayor of this great city at the founding and for the first 9.5 years, and now for the last 4 years. While this year has tested us all, I have been honored to help lead our community in these trying times and hope that soon we pass from this new normal to our day-to-day lives as we knew them before this pandemic. Please know that we will continue to work for you, our residents, our families, our businesses, and to make Doral what we committed to make it when the city was founded. The premier place to live, work, play, and learn. May God bless you and your families, our great city of Doral, and the United States of America. Thank you.